Hi everyone, welcome, and I hope this video will be helpful for anyone planning a trip to Stockholm. In this video, I'll share some useful tips and suggestions to help make your Stockholm experience even more perfect. Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, is an incredibly beautiful city and a must-see destination. It's not just the stunning views that make it worth visiting, but also the chance to experience the Scandinavian way of life. Everything is clean, well-organized, and functions smoothly. Plus, the people are exceptionally friendly. 1. Accommodation. At first, accommodations in Stockholm might seem expensive, but with some careful planning, you can find great deals here too. You don't necessarily need to stay in the city center. It's better to focus on finding a place near one of the extensive metro lines, tunnelbana. From there, getting around will be easy. The metro is very reliable, and you'll immediately get a taste of the Swedish way of life, as you can often travel in almost complete silence, calmly and comfortably seated, for miles without any discomfort. 2. Arlanda Airport to Stockholm city center. If your flight lands at Arlanda Airport, there are plenty of options to get to the city center. If time is a priority and cost isn't an issue, the Arlanda Express is perfect, offering a travel time of less than 20 minutes at a relatively high price. However, if you have some flexibility, you can save a lot by taking the Flixbus, which runs every 10 to 20 minutes and stops at several locations in Stockholm. It costs around €7 and takes about 45 minutes to reach the city center. This is much cheaper than the 350 Swedish krona, around €30, you'll pay for the Arlanda Express, though there are discounts if you're traveling in a group. 3. Public transportation in Stockholm. As I mentioned earlier when discussing accommodations, Stockholm's public transportation is exceptionally good. While one of the city's main attractions is simply walking through its streets, it's still worth getting, for example, a 3-day pass. This way, you can travel quickly between the city and your accommodation or across the islands. A big advantage is that the pass is valid not only within the city, but for all of Stockholm County, so you can easily visit nearby attractions as well. In many city trips, I try to save money by walking everywhere and only buying single tickets when necessary. However, in Stockholm, despite walking a lot, getting a pass was one of the best decisions we made. 4. One more tip about public transportation, ferry routes. If you don't want to spend a lot on organized boat tours, here's some good news. With the public transportation pass you purchased earlier, you can also board certain local ferries. Keep in mind that you won't be alone on the boat, but even during peak season, the interior was almost empty. You can take as many trips as you like. Just make sure to check the departure times in advance, which are also posted at the docks. And don't hesitate to explore further distances, as the pass allows you to travel freely throughout the entire county. The best plan for a day trip is coming up in the next section. 5. A perfect day. Building on the mentioned pass and the local ferries you can use with it, here's a highly recommended itinerary for a day trip. Start by heading to the Nybrokkagen stop in the city center, where you can catch the SL-marked 80 ferry all the way to the Ropsten stop. Most tourists get off at Nacka Strand, but the beautiful Stockholm scenery and the pleasant boat ride make the longer trip worth it. Once there, you can easily hop on the 13 metro line to get back to the city center. After a quick lunch, head to Klara Mälarstrand, where the 89 ferry departs. This ferry ride offers stunning views, giving you a taste of the Swedish landscape. The final stop is Eckerö Tappström, where there's not much to see, but a nearby bus stop offers frequent buses to the Brommaplan metro station. However, don't rush, as you'll pass by Drottningholm Palace, the royal family's residence. The palace, with its breathtaking scenery, both inside and out, and its gardens, is a must-visit. You can easily spend hours there. Along with your entrance ticket, consider buying a royal ground coffee. It's not only delicious, but also makes a great affordable gift. If you walk through the park, you'll find a bus stop on the side that can take you back to the city center. In the evening, head to Stockholm's amusement park, Gröna Lund. It's worth buying the cheaper ticket available from 7 p.m., as you'll still have plenty of time until 10 p.m. to enjoy the rides. In fact, they start letting people in about 10 minutes before 7 p.m. Inside, keep in mind that buying individual ride tickets can be expensive, so the combined ticket might be a better deal. But even if you don't go on many rides, it's worth visiting just for the atmosphere, playing for a plush toy, or enjoying a waterside ride. The biggest attraction, however, is the sunset. There are plenty of waterfront promenades and benches where you can enjoy the lights of the city coming to life and take some great photos. Finally, head home on the 82 ferry, which departs from next to the amusement park, giving you an even better view of the city's nighttime lights. This is a must-do activity. It's not only cost-effective, but also time-efficient and incredibly enjoyable. 6. Affordable dining. Dining in restaurants has its charm, but in Sweden, you have to expect high prices, which may not be ideal, especially for a backpacking trip. Fortunately, there are options that can be just as enjoyable on a lower budget. One good tip is to buy local delicacies from large supermarkets. The selection is endless, whether it's dairy products, where you'll find a surprising number of lactose-free options, or venison cold cuts. The bread is great, and it's easy to find snacks as well. And of course, you can't miss fika, the local coffee break tradition, with delicious pastries available in many places. There's even a small IKEA in the city center, so you can try their famous meatballs in their country of origin. If you need a quick lunch, a special local option is Max Burgers, which is essentially Sweden's competitor to Burger King and McDonald's. You'll be pleasantly surprised by their tasty burgers, fries, and even chicken nuggets. Beyond that, you can find cheaper hot dogs in many places. It's worth stopping by a local Pressbyrån, but there are plenty of other options too. The food is of good quality, and the taste won't disappoint. 7. Free walking tours. When searching for sightseeing tours in Stockholm, you'll find plenty of options, and it's important to note that several of them are free. We tried the service from Nordic Freedom Tours, link below, and not only was it truly free, but registration just a few hours before the start was as easy as a few clicks. We joined the Old Town Tour, and if you're worried that a 2-hour tour might be too dry, this one was anything but. Our guide was not only very knowledgeable, but also an excellent speaker, and we learned a lot of interesting things that we hadn't noticed 2 days earlier. You can and should tip the guide because this tour is really enjoyable and still much cheaper than any paid tour. I highly recommend this free guided tour in Stockholm. I hope these tips and suggestions will be useful to you, as they made a huge difference in our experience. To make things easier, I've included links in the description where possible, so you can easily find relevant information. Thank you for watching the video, and I wish you a wonderful trip to Stockholm.